you've been posting on it, we've been seeing some things, trying to make it more user-friendly as we go. We've also developed, although I haven't made it public yet, a YouTube channel where I hope to post some videos of interest regarding nature, etc. Still working on that, but in any event, at this point, let me introduce Laura again, and what I hope she's going to do to start quickly is we'll walk around the backyard and she can point out some of the things that maybe we don't even, I personally may not even know about that exist here that we can change better. Laura?
Okay. Well, I
Here's a
am not.
pointer.
Oh, thank you. Let me just clarify that I am not a naturalist, so in terms of being able to give you detailed scientific names of the plants and the flowers and all of that, I am not that. But it might be useful. He gave me a preview of the wonderful video that he did, and he kind of started to walk around the property. So I'm assuming all of this back here is yours.
Well, this here, no. Once you get, that's another house.
Okay, that's the other house.
So really what we're looking at here, some of that property is what we call the common property down the hill. Where the property line goes, I'm never quite sure. But we kind of look after this area here.
Okay. Well, first of all, what you have here is just the best thing for wildlife, which is fresh water. Having water in your yard is the most essential element. Fresh water preferably. And all the animals need the water, so that's a great thing. And my daughter's gonna make me nervous taking pictures, so that's okay. And having lots of trees, you don't have a whole lot of lawn here, which is great because, you know, a centipede lawn is just a monoculture, so you're not going to have a lot of diversity in your wildlife. Allowing wildlife to roam freely through having lots of shrubbery, dense shrubbery for nesting. You know, they do like to escape predators, so having lots of shrubbery in the yard. Variety is the biggest thing, and that's what I see is a lot of variety. You know, native plants, we always suggest natives. And you've got the gum trees. These are all natural, I'm assuming. They were here.
Well, no, actually, many of these, when we moved here, this was almost flat, had very little. We didn't do much.
A lot of weeds.
Yeah, we let nature do most of it for us. This is probably
This gum tree is less than 7 years old. It came from the roots of the bigger gum trees behind it.
It just planted itself and took off.
Yeah.
This is a ornamental plum that's not native that we planted here. This is something here now and we like it, but we wouldn't do this again because it's not a native tree if I had it all to do over again. But it's here and it's nice.
And there are plums, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even though it's not native, there are native plums to South Carolina. So I'm sure you get birds pecking on the plums, and they're enjoying that fruit.
This wax myrtle grew up from just a little thing too, and they last 8 years.
Wax myrtles are wonderful.
Yeah.
They provide a lot of. Look at this guy right over here.
He would have parked here if we didn't have the crowd. He's a little shy.
Parking at our house now. He likes to
Oh,
park
okay.
And the pine tree is also self-planted
Yeah.
a few years ago.
A good deal of it is. We planted some stuff. That little thing, by the way, we have a few of them around here. I can point to it here. This is a live oak. We got 10 of them from the Arbor Day Foundation. About 6 or 7 of them took seed. And please come back in about 150 years or so. We're going to have our next get together. We could all sit under the live oak and enjoy.
I have about 3 trees that remained out of my 10 that I bought right after Hurricane Hugo. I'm not sure how many of you were here when Hugo hit in 1989, but it was devastating to the low country. And I planted, I lived in an apartment, so I carried these container plants with me for many, many years, and finally got to plant them in 1990 when we, well no, I guess it was later than that, about 95, and now these trees are huge. So it may not be 100 years before you get to enjoy them.
Now, this particular tree here, if anybody knows exactly what it is, help me, but it has these wonderful berries.
Savannah Holly.
Is that what it is? Okay. The birds love it. The only downside of it is in the fall, late fall and winter, I guess they kind of, what's the word for it? They turn out, they ferment.
Right.
And then see the waxwings in particular.
Oh yeah, they and they crash
Jam into the window, and that's the sad part. But they die happy.
You could try putting little silhouettes.
He's talking about
We've
this
tried
tree
everything.
here,
Tried
the berries
that.
ferment.
It's the way the
And the
sun
birds
hits it
will
that they
eat them.
can't,
Yeah.
they don't see
A
it.
little bit,
You know,
the
they
tips
see it through the reflection.
Put up the owl.
Well, yes, berry producing plants. You've got your Nanzina down there. The birds also like that.
What's the Nanzina?
The Nanzina.
You can tell we're city slickers.
This is Nanzina.
Oh, okay.
And it produces red berries too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Berries. I actually have never seen these before. I'm sure they've been out, but
Yeah. Yeah. Nanzina. Nandina. That is not a native either, and it actually can be quite invasive if you let it get out of control. Mm-hmm.
now do you? Somebody may have asked this. What are these? We love them because they're a wildflower because they are filling in nicely.
They are. They're a great ground cover. I don't know what they are.
The butterflies like them.
They would.
Very invasive. I like them because the butterflies like them, but the bees, which I'm allergic to, do not. So it's a way of getting butterflies.
They're related to petunia, I think.
Are they?
Are they really? Daniel knows.
We do have also, by the way, and we get along with them reasonably well most of the time, a number of alligators that visit, this little pond. The key thing is, and I would emphasize this to anyone when you have guests come down or whatever, feed an alligator, kill an alligator.
Yeah.
Anybody who gives food to an alligator is basically writing its death sentence. Whether visit, people mean well sometimes, most of the time, but that's the one thing you cannot do, because once they lose their fear, they associate humans with food, they lose their fear, and then they become aggressive, and then sadly, there's only one recourse left. So
Right.
enjoy them from a distance.
Right. And keep your small dogs inside, for sure. Well, again, this very dense cover here is great for the birds. The denser, the better. Any vines are also good. A lot of the vines are flowering, and the butterflies and the bees like those as well. I'm not sure all what you have in the pots here.
Now, these are not native. These are marinated Thai peppers.
Oh, I see.
That's salvage. But we eat these. This is our. We put them in just about. We spent some time. Marion spent some time in Thailand, and we both spent some time in Cambodia. And since then, we've practically put Thai peppers in almost everything.
Oh,
we eat.
wow.
So-
That sounds yummy.
If you like hot stuff, we do. Some of them are turning ripe. We'll pick them. These are all ready. These are new ones sprouting up. Before we go inside, any questions that anybody might have that either for us or for Laura or whatever, and then we'll go inside and have something to eat and watch the presentation. I call this
Yeah. That's what that is as well, right next to the Nanzina.
But up in New England, they have a smaller version.
Okay.
Something like this. It had a little like stalk that came up with a tiny little yellow flower.
They didn't want to bring it out.
And I've never seen that flower before. Do you have any sense of what would do that? The little stalk was like this.
Okay.
The little
Then
tiny
that's gonna be
flower just
inside.
sitting right there. And Laura, did you want to see something about the bat houses and
Oh,
bird
yes.
houses?
Thank you.
A quick show of hands.
One second. We're not quite done yet out here. Laura?
Okay.
Okay. We do have, to help support our programs, we are a nonprofit organization. We do sell some nature-related items, and we do have bat houses for sale, and we'll talk a little bit about bats and the benefit to all of us when we go through the presentation. There are some bluebird boxes as well. We have a screech owl / American kestrel box out there, and what we're calling a brown-headed nuthatch, which has the 1-inch hole versus the 1.5-inch hole of the bluebird box. So we have, yes, and we're featuring the brown-headed nuthatch because that species is in decline, and their populations have decreased by about 25% over the past 20 years. And as you could probably tell, I'm not from around here. Originally, I'm from New York. There's so much development going on in the southern part of the United States that they're exclusively dependent on mature pine forests because they eat the insects on those pine trees. So they won't eat insects, you know, on hardwood trees or other types of trees. So their little niche is very narrow, and with all the development going on, those pine forests are being cut at an astronomical rate. So they are cavity nesters.
So how far up put this?
Now this is a bluebird box. It's 1.5 inches. Other types of birds will nest in it.
No, I meant the nuthatch one.
The nuthatch about 6 feet. We have instructions on
Oh,
all
you
of
do?
on all of the boxes.
Yeah.
We include instructions, and I have more in the car. I just didn't want to haul them all out, but I just wanted to show y'all some examples. They all come with the plates on them to keep the squirrels from eating the holes out, like that one over there. And we actually sell those little plates as well to repair houses like that. That one might just want to be replaced.
So this is the brown-headed nuthatch?
That's the small hole, the 1-inch hole. Yes.
When you have a house like this, you have to have a clean out hole to clean it out every season, or
You do.
do the animals do that naturally?
No, they do need to be cleaned out. So there's a screw right here that you can, well, there's a screw here on the bottom too. That one you want to take off, and loosen, and then this will swing and pivot back and forth.